Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I just spent probably an entire episode's worth of time going through our construction menu here, because specifically what I wanted to do was remove all of those land and coastal forts that we queued up a while back. We're probably never going to get to construct them. They are probably even unnecessary now that we've dealt with, in particular, Britain. Britain was the one that we were primarily concerned about getting those for, so we're no longer concerned about that in the slightest. And we'll now have considerably better performance. Like, look at this. This is so much better. So much better. So that is great. We have less of a construction queue, and if we tick forward, it's probably running a little bit better, but let's bump it up to speed 5 and see if that's better like this. Actually, it is. So that looks good. A subject may soon raise its autonomy. Very rude. Well, whatever. As long as they're in our faction, that's what really matters here. So it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, I want to take a look at our justifications here. How are those going? We've got a ways until Italy. Mecklenburg is about 100 days out. And Romania is a really long ways away, too. Noted. Okay. So it's going to be about 100 days. That's fine. We'll cruise on forward. How much slower does it go if we open the construction menu at this time? It's a little bit slower, but it's not significantly the way it used to be. So that is phenomenal. And we're going to get through a lot of these pretty quickly. Now, I do want to do a small change here, and we can do this while it's running at this point, which is mildly remarkable. But what I want to do is I want to move up these civilian factories to the top level. There are a few civilian factories. Most of them are in foreign nations, but there are a few civilian factories in this. I guess we could move up this naval base, although I feel like it's not strictly speaking necessary. And I guess this air defense? Sure. But we definitely do want to move up these civilian factories. That will help us get through this a little bit faster, and that is, of course, great. There's still a lot of things queued up in here, and we need to work our way through them. So I'm just checking through. This is all railroad at this point. And then this is repairs down here. Okay, so that looks good. Sweden changed their autonomy level. Yeah, that's to be expected. Okay, so now at this point, we are constructing a bunch of civilian factories, and that will help us get through this list even faster, right? We can continue to work on things like, in theory, infrastructure, although I think all of our infrastructure is queued. We would definitely be able to queue up, like, anti-air. I don't think it's necessary, and we'll see if we start running out of things to construct. If we do, we can queue that up at that point. For now, I don't see too much of a reason. So if we look at our war support's pretty low right now, mostly due to combat casualties. We're not going to have significant casualties in, I think, any further war. Even Italy is going to collapse incredibly quickly, is my belief. I'm going to tell all of these guys to commence their orders as soon as they can, but that's going to be a little while, no doubt about that. So, what can we do about our war support? Well, not much while we're not at war. We could do a region-wide industrial integration, and that's probably a smart thing to do, because that will allow us to build another civilian factory, but where is the question? There's going to be a state around somewhere. The question is where? Is it out in the Americas? Maybe. Actually, hang on. There's a whole bunch of them over here. I was under the impression, oh, this is probably because we built infrastructure or we have higher compliance. Well, let's get all of these going. I don't know if those are the locations where that infrastructure is going to be going. There might be another area around here, like Brunswick here. That's in a foreign territory, technically. Okay, so we're going to hope that that's all of the locations. I don't necessarily know for a fact that it is. Sure, that'll be fine. We have a free dockyard. How concerned are we about that? Well, it's only the one free dockyard. I mean, we don't really need a navy going forward. I suppose we could get another line of carrier hulls. We only have 3 of those right now. And we only have 3 lines of heavy ship hulls right now as well, and cruiser hulls. Okay, we can get a cruiser hull going here. So we're going to go for the 1944 cruiser hull, which would be this guy. Okay, so that'll be fine. We will put you up over... That's the convoy. Hang on. Get back down there. The cruiser is going to go up over here. Perfect. So that'll be absolutely fine for the time being. Let's check in on those justifications. How's this going? Okay, we've got about 200 days here. We've only got about 30 days now until our war on Mecklenburg-Strelitz, but that's, of course, not going to be much of a war. Let's put it that way. That will last approximately, what, 1 day? Maybe not even. They don't have an army. Well, it'll take us some time to walk into their capital, I suppose. The war's already over. Like, there's nothing they can do, right? So that's absolutely fine. Now, Bavaria is part of our faction. So if we want to get Europe cleaned up, Italy is a big part of it, Romania, Greece, and, of course, these guys over here, the Serb Bourgeois Revolt. And then we're going to need to clean up these tiny little city-states over here. And also, what is this, Bremen? Baden. I knew it was one of those B German nations. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. We can do another region-wide industrial integration, and let's see what we've got there. Is that up over here in the Netherlands? No, it is not. It's over here in Algiers. Sure. That seems fine. We can definitely get going on that. So there's a lot of civilian factories being built right now, right? And that is absolutely wonderful. We can move this guy up. These can be a little lower priority for now. And this is an armored division and infantry division. That's a real infantry division, too. So they end up going straight on over here. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to continue on speed 5 after this justification is finished, because that's going to be very, very swift indeed. And we need to continue to work on Romania and Italy. We're only going to be doing 2 justifications at a time from here on out, because it just takes so much longer. It's like exponentially longer for each additional justification you do. I don't know if it caps at a certain point. It might, at a certain point, be beneficial for us to justify on literally everyone. That might be a thing, but we're not going to test that right now. We're going to declare this war. This is apparently going to be worth 61% tension. Okay, that's a lot. Baden is guaranteeing Mecklenburg-Strelitz. Okay, that's fine. We're going to head on in here, and they're already gone. So where is Baden? That's these guys down here. Okay, we already have forces ready to attack them. And they are indeed called in. And they have capitulated. That is wonderful. I'm going to grab these guys and tell them just come fill in this side of Baden. We only have the one side filled in right now. So just do something kind of like that. Okay. So we're going to head on in over there. We'll just need to clean up that side, but Baden will give up very quickly, so that seems good. Netherlands wants to join. We're actually going to decline. We don't need their help. Baden's about to fall. So there's very little they can do here. We're attacking their capital right now. I expect them to capitulate the moment their capital falls, which is now. And there we go. Perfect. As I said, not much of a war. So that looks good. We're going to select everything and submit those demands. Perfect. So at this point, we have generated 500% world tension. Hilarious. And these guys don't actually want to join our non-existent war, so we're just going to get rid of that. Okay, now, normally I would immediately have begun another justification, but we're trying to cap it at 2 justifications, right? So that is reasonably fine for now. And these are fairly close together. That's noted. Okay, so 167 out of 375, and this is 208 out of 375. So almost 200 days before we can fight Italy. It's gonna be a while. So that is absolutely okay, and the question is, if we look at these German states over here, how much actually remains? There's not that much. Is there one up over here? No, there's not. Okay, so we've got these 2 here, we've got one here, we've got one here, 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 and here. and one here. And that's it. So that's fine. We can get those German states cleared up fairly quickly-ish. And of course, we've got a couple of other nations down here to deal with in Europe, until Europe is fully under our control. Then, of course, I think that we should focus on South America here, which, arguable whether this is South America. It probably isn't. But we're going to call all of this South America, because it is mostly in the south of America. That's how this works, right? I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So these guys don't have orders right now. Do they need orders, to be honest? Not really. I mean, maybe other European powers would join this. We could send these guys over to frontline against Greece, say, and then we can use our Marines to frontline against, like, I don't know, people. It doesn't really matter who. We can just have them be vaguely in this area. Okay, something like that would be fine. So that seems okay for now. Now, it's going to be a little bit until we have these other justifications completed still. So this is going to be 233 out of 375 days, so we've got another 140 days to go here. And then this is even further. By about another 40 days, so like 180 days, which is like 6 months. So that's definitely going to take some time. No doubt about that. I do expect Italy to fall exceedingly quickly once we get this done. Will it fall before our justification on Romania is finished? Now, that's an interesting question. I think the answer to that is probably yes-ish. We'd have to cover a lot of territory here to get down to Naples. So that is definitely understood. Also, the Modenan military revolt here is part of Carpetania. However, Modena itself is not. They're not at war, are they? No, they shouldn't be. They should be fighting each other if they were at war. So that seems reasonably fine. We're just going to continue to cruise on through that. Let's take a look at how we're doing on our construction. We've actually made a lot of progress on our factories here. That looks really good. Yeah, that looks incredibly good. We've made tons of progress on our factories. So we are, of course, working on infrastructure down here. There's a lot of infrastructure to be worked on yet. But beyond that, there's approximately 1 trillion railroads. And we haven't even gone through and upgraded a lot of our railroads. These are just the ones that we did upgrade early on and just never got to building. For the record, a lot of these are over in China that we still haven't upgraded. So there is that. That's absolutely fine. I want to check in and see if there's additional civilian factories we can build in any of these locations as the infrastructure finishes. The answer to that is currently no, which is fine. We're completely okay with that. So the question is, how can we get these justifications faster? Well, first off, we should only be justifying, I think, 2 war goals at a time. 375 days is a long time to justify. No doubt about that, especially when we can get it done a lot faster. We may even not want to be justifying 2 at once. We may want to only do 1. We'll see how that feels. So the decision is here, I think. We don't justify anything else until after Romania is done. We look at how quickly we justify, and then we determine if we want to get a second justification going, is I think how that's going to end up working. I would like to justify simultaneously, but it's exponential, for sure. 3 is obviously too much. No doubt about that. That delays us significantly. So we'll just have to feel it out and see what we want to do. If it's like 70 days each, we might do it 1 at a time. So we would finish it up, declare the war, immediately start justifying another one while we're still fighting the war. That would probably be the best way to do it, but we'll run a little bit of experimentation on that. 3 is obviously overkill. No doubt about that. So that's all well and good, right? We've got a lot of cleanup to do. There's not very much left to oppose us in terms of powerful enemies. So it's just a matter of cleanup at this point. It would be nice if we could just invade everyone without justifying and be like, you know what? We can just do this. What are you going to do about it? But unfortunately, that's not the way Hoi4 works. In reality, that's what we do. We just invade people without justification and be like, you're ours now. What are you going to do about it? We control all of this. There's literally nothing you can do about it. But in Hoi4, that's not an option. This is an infantry division. Is this a real infantry division? It is. And so it goes over here. Looks good. So looking at our production, we have lots of production underway, of course. And this is great. We've got just ridiculous amounts of production happening here. We have giant stockpiles of weaponry. This is all completely... Look at that. 123,000 MiG-9s. That is insane. We have 150,000 tanks. Cool. We're not actually working on our trucks and our war austerity trains for some reason. We should be. I don't know why we're not. I guess because of these close air supports, but we can back off on those. We don't actually need all that much. We can do something like this. That gives us... That actually still uses all of our factories. So that seems good. Yeah, get to work on that. And then I am going to bring up our close air supports again and our MiG-9s, but that's fine. Okay. So how are we doing on those justifications? About 50 days on Italy. And it should be about 90 on Romania. Something around there. Yeah, that looks good. Cool. So the real question is, oh, Romania is improving relations with us. Hilarious. They think that will help them. No, the only thing that will help you is joining our faction, which you don't appear to be too inclined to do. So let's hop in here real quick and say, why aren't you interested in joining our faction? They're feeling threatened by us, but they're not aligned. Minus 150. Okay, adorable. They think being non-aligned will help them. It absolutely will not. We like it when they're non-aligned because that means they don't have friends. To be honest, we would be stretched pretty thin if we had to fight every nation in the world right now. We could do it. Absolutely, we could do it. But we would be stretched pretty thin. We'd have a lot of fronts. We'd have to give up some temporary land while we consolidated in certain locations. And then we would have to push in. It would be strenuous. But as it is, it's absolutely fine. We don't have any problem with going after these one at a time. It's just we want to be able to justify faster. That's the overall only thing that we're looking for at this point. And there are definitely ways that we can do that once we've finished these. So we're about 20 days at this point from conquering Italy. So that looks good. Question is, are we going to need an invasion of Sardinia? I don't think we will. I think Italy will capitulate before then. They don't have any friends, right? I'm pretty sure they don't. They're selling equipment to other nations, buying equipment. They have market access? No. And they're not in any faction either. In fact, there's only one faction other than us, and that's these guys down here, and they don't really count. We'll see if Italy tries to make a faction when we declare on them. That'll be interesting, for sure. So let's hop in here and keep an eye here. Yeah, 8 days at this point. 7 days. Fantastic. Italy is about to fall. And that is, of course, wonderful. 5 more days. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, so we're going to immediately declare on Italy. I'm not going to start up any other justifications at this time. We're just going to declare this. And in we go. I don't expect Italy to last very long here. Yeah, this is going very poorly for Italy. We've been prepared for this for a while, and there's very little they can do about it. We already have a pocket up here. That's some stack wipes. And we're just going to head straight on down. What is this unassigned division? This is an armored division. Oh my. Okay, why is it way back here? Okay, whatever. We'll just bring that in over this way. Sure. And we're just continuing to attack Italy here. We're having a bit of a hard time making it through the mountains on this side, but that's beginning to collapse now. That looks good. Milan has fallen. And Parma has also fallen. Like, Italy doesn't have anything they can do here. We're stack wiping a significant number of their troops up here, and we're working on cutting them off over here as well. Yeah, these are now encircled. This is going to go very badly for them. It's over. It's already super duper over. Cool. So we're just going to head down over here as soon as we're finished stack wiping this area, which will take a little while, but not very long. That's a lot of forces devoted to this pocket. Perhaps too many forces devoted to this pocket, but it seems okay. Yeah, they're out of there. Excellent. And, yeah, we're just making our way down this very, very swiftly indeed. Okay, this is a very strange setup we've got here now. Let's forget about this entirely, and let's just do a front line like this and a front line like this, and tell them, offensive line straight on down. I do expect that as soon as Naples falls, they capitulate. They're already 38% towards capitulation. So that looks good here. We're going to have our justification done on Romania very shortly. I just want to make sure these guys are still assigned over here, and they are. So that looks good. And yeah, Naples is going to fall imminently. It is under attack right now, or it was. Now we're heading into it. Perfect. That should be a capitulation. And there they go. Excellent. So we'll select all, submit demands, and confirm and exit. So that's, of course, a lot of forces that don't have orders right now. And that's understood. For now, I'm just going to leave them where they are. We are going to immediately start constructing infrastructure up over in the Italian regions here. No, I don't want to. No, I don't want the pause menu or the console. I want to build infrastructure. I don't want to select that unit either. Can we not? I wanted to remove the infrastructure here because I queued it up on the wrong side. Okay. Yep, this is going badly. Let's go here, here, here. There we go. We made it through where all of our troops were. So that looks reasonably good. Can we build any civilian factories over here? The answer is absolutely yes, and we're going to do that. Looks great. Hang on. That was a civilian factory that we could build up here as well. Any infrastructure? No, but there is definitely a civilian factory that can go right up over there. Looks good. Is this Russian controlled? It is. Okay, we can build a civilian factory here too. Fantastic. No infrastructure to be built over there, but that's okay. Nobody actually wants to join these wars. So Italy is under control at this point. Romania's justification will be done very, very shortly. Let's take a quick look at how that's going. Yeah, it's going to be done in just a matter of days here. So that looks good. We should not need any forces other than what we have here for that. These guys are just kind of chilling down in Italy, and for the moment that's okay, because we don't know exactly who we're going to be going after next. Although it might be this guy. We'll see. Okay, so there's the justification for conquering Moldavia finished. Let's declare this war, and we currently have no justification ongoing. Let's come down to Greece and start a justification here. And that's going to take 125 days. Get going on that. And then if we were to come up here hypothetically and started a justification here, 185. That doesn't feel too bad. Let's go ahead and start a second justification there. And these guys should absolutely be heading in. I guess they're not right now. Just offensive line, something like that. Get in there. Excellent. So they're going to fall very quickly. I don't expect this to be a problem in any meaningful way. We're just in full-on cleanup mode at this point, and their capital's right up over here. They might capitulate when the capital falls, but that's pretty early on in the conquest. We'll see how that ends up going. They're pocketed right now. They did. Okay, cool. So we'll just submit those demands and confirm and exit. There we go. So there's Romania under our control. Next up, of course, we're going to need to be out over here. I'm going to tell these guys to come in and... No, I want all of them. Come on in here, and they're going to offensive line, something like that. That's fine. And that will be absolutely okay. Now, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to wrap up our conquest of Europe, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of little German states up here still that need to be taken over, but we'll get there. We've got Greece, we've got the Serb proletarian, or no, that's a bourgeoisie revolt, actually, not a proletarian revolt. And we've got the Modenans down here as well. And then the Germans. And then all of Europe will be under our control. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.